Good afternoon to you. It's a minute past 3 p.m. in a cold Johannesburg studio. This is Polotiki. My name is Sifiso Mahlangu. Welcome to the show. I'm watched in over 42 countries this afternoon, so Africa and the world. Welcome. I have about an hour with you. This is Polotiki. We're talking politics. In South Africa, making the headlines is the Zuma letters. President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed the nation through a long letter stating that the ANC is accused, number one. Former President Jacob Zuma has responded to him, saying the ANC cannot be accused, number one. Explain to the nation if you didn't receive money from white monopoly capital and if your family isn't in bed with government agencies. And so whilst the ANC sits at St. George's this afternoon discussing their issues and factions, I'm seated with Mr. Dennis Bloem to ventilate the Zuma letters, the state of the country, and of course the state of the ANC. Mr. Dennis Bloem is the national spokesperson for the Congress of the People. In 2007, after the Polokwane conference, a faction of the ANC split, creating a new party called COPE, the Congress of the People, led then by Musiwa Lokota and Mbazima Shilowa. After a bit, factions came in and there was a split between Shilowa and Lakota. Lakota is currently the president. Mr. Bloem is the spokesperson. He leads me to this conversation this afternoon. Mr. Bloem, I welcome you to the show.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the invitation.
You were the portfolio chair, correctional services in Parliament in the monster, the ANC. The biggest liberation movement in the continent. Your blood was green and yellow. 2007 came, the Polokwane conference, Zuma beats Mbeki, a faction of the ANC stages a walkout. You have large numbers in parliament. You're called the Congress of the People. Factions come in and COPE is what it is today. Is it really cold outside the ANC?
It's so very painful and sad when you say that the biggest liberation movement is a monster. Very painful.
It's a monster in the sense that, well, it's large. It's the governing party. In South Africa, there's no party like itself. COPE did come in. You had 1 million votes in your first sitting in Parliament. But right now, you've dwindled to 2 representatives in the National Assembly.
That's correct. I understand what
that's
you
mean. That's a decline.
Yeah, I understand what you mean I thought that you are saying that the ANC have turned into a monster now. You can see what is happening.
Well, that could be said. A school of thought, and certainly a pocket of our society certainly feels that way.
Yes.
Do you agree with that sentiment? Well,
the turn that the ANC took, it's very, very, very sad that what we see now. A striking thing to me is this new hashtag, #ANC. I personally met Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela. I don't know what is going on in their minds when people are saying ANC. Many of us, our roots are in the ANC. And it's not nice, even if we are no more with the ANC. We are the Congress of the People. But when such things are being said, it hurts because we know that this was a giant movement, a movement of the people.
It certainly was a giant movement, a movement that your organization split from. The chorus in societies that you split because you were the Mbeki faction. And when Zuma won in Polokwane, you then split, started the Congress of the People, allegedly endorsed or supported ideologically by former President Thabo Mbeki. I don't know. You'll answer that for yourself. And COPE was in itself a growing monster, one that would contend with the ANC. But over the years, Mr. Bloem, your party has disintegrated.
No, we were never a faction of President Thabo Mbeki. President Thabo Mbeki have said many a times that he is still a member of the ANC, a leader of the ANC. So we can't, it's not possible for us as the Congress of the People to be a faction of President Thabo Mbeki. Yes, it is true that our support have dwindled. And the reason why everybody knows it was because of infighting. And I can say without any doubt, it was because of leadership squabbles. You see, the weakness and the problem of African politics is everybody wants to be a chief and a king.
But is COPE then in a position to advise the ruling party or the monster, the ANC? You had a votership of 1 million people, a few seats in parliament, and you couldn't even handle that. You split what was then the fourth biggest party in South Africa. Leadership squabbles aired in court. How do you now accuse the ANC of factions and infighting when your party couldn't manage the small interest you had?
We were the third largest party in South Africa, not the fourth. We are from the ANC, and it's not for us to teach the ANC what is happening, what has happened to COPE. They are busy killing the party themselves. You see, after us, it was the EFF. EFF splitted. The alliance of COSATU splitted. They took a big chunk of the ANC support away. So it's not for us as the Congress of the People to give advice to the ANC. The ANC, with other words, what I'm saying, they are supposed to be our parents. We are supposed to learn from them, not they must learn from us. They can see what is going on in the party. They are finishing the ANC themselves. With all these things that is happening, there's no hope that the ANC will survive if they are not correcting. But I don't see this word self-correct in the ANC. Water and oil cannot mix.
Have you persuaded yourself, or overly persuaded yourself, in the factions or the internal dynamics in the ANC? If I want to argue the point, you are a leader of COPE. COPE is your instrument. COPE is your baby to raise. But you have persuaded yourself with the interests of another organization, whilst you have an organization that is dwindling. Shouldn't this passion, Mr. Bloem, and this attention be rather portrayed at building COPE and making COPE a party that can lead this country?
You know, the ANC is the governing party of South Africa. Each and every person must be concerned in what is going on in the governing party, because the economy of the country is in the hands of the ANC. They are running this country. So we can't close our eyes and say, no, that is the problem of the ANC. My children's future is in their hands. It is not in COPE's hands. If COPE was the ruling party, the governing party, then we could have said, no, let us just close our eyes. But they are having the economy. All the countries are concerned about what is going on in this country. It's not only COPE, but each and every country, because there's investment of the other countries in South Africa. Now, nobody can close their eyes and say that no, as COPE, let us worry about our own internal things. No, this is the governing party. And we must be concerned when things are going like this. We must raise our voice.
Was the ANC not corrupt when you were still in the ANC?
Well, the ANC was very, very, very straightforward. I can tell you, but over time it dwindled, and we have said in Polokwane, you are taking a wrong direction. That was 2007 in Polokwane. That's why we broke away from the ANC, because we could see that no, this is not the ANC that we have joined, that we know, the ANC of Oliver Tambo, the ANC of Nelson Mandela.
The ANC of Thabo Mbeki and the ANC of Jacob Zuma.
No. When this thing started, the fight between Thabo Mbeki and Zuma started the whole thing. When there was this ructions within, we cannot say, we can never point a finger at Nelson Mandela or Oliver Tambo, but we can say that President Thabo Mbeki and Zuma. But you see, President Thabo Mbeki was very jealous to save the legacy of the ANC. That's why he said, no, the party is taking a wrong decision. He said it there from the stage there at Polokwane, to say the party is taking a wrong direction. It started there. I am not saying that the President Mbeki fought against Zuma. No, I am saying it started there between the two, just like Mbazima Shulua and Terra Lekota.
Okay. Before I move on to the Zuma letters, which is an interesting dialogue I want us to have, and perhaps the state of the country, if we move a little bit away from discussions about the ANC and look at if Ramaphosa has a point. Is something inherently wrong with our society? But I want to lead you into a conversation about the expropriation of land without compensation. Mr. Bloem, you were in the ruling party at a very high level of leadership. Your political principal, Terra Lekota, was not only an NEC member, he was a cabinet minister, a premier, one who fought for the return of land. That is why the ANC was started. How do you, as COPE, say the land should not be expropriated without compensation?
No, what we are saying is that in the Constitution, there is a lot of the ways how we can give back land to the people that wants land. We are very firm on that thing. We are not saying, no, don't give people land. No. That is a wrong interpretation of COPE. We are saying, let us fix and let us address the wrongs that has happened in the past. And one of the wrongs is the land issue. Now we are saying the constitution of the country is making provision for there is a lot of land that is in the hands of this government. Why is this government?
The majority of the land in this country belongs to 85,000 white families.
Exactly. Now we are...
How do you get that land back without expropriating it?
No.
The first policy on land return, the winning buyer, winning seller, did not work.
Yes.
Because you can't buy land inherently that
Why
was taken.
did it not work?
Now, the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution allows government to expropriate land without paying those it expropriates from in order for there to be land return. Simplistically, I don't think that policy is untoward?
No, you see, there is no political will in the leaders of this government to assist and give landless people land. You see what is happening all over in South Africa, where people see land, there is land.
Mr. Bloem, your party has contested to the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution.
Until today,
so when you say to me you want land to be given independently or within the constitutional measurements, how are you going to do that without amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution?
It is not necessary to amend Section 25. That's why we are saying, let the land that is there in the hands of our government, let them give that land to the people.
Inherently, history teaches that it was not the government that stole the land. The Land Act of 1913 identifies that. Land is seated. Land is within the hands of the minority. It's a historic fact. If there's no land return and then government simply gives land that belongs to government, are you saying the land was not stolen by white people?
But you see, that is a wrong word, stealing, because a crime was committed then. Why are people not going to the nearest police station and go and lay criminal charges against this person, Dennis Bloem?
Are you, Mr. Dennis Bloem, saying to me right now in 2020, a former member, high-ranking official of the ANC, are you saying land was not stolen in South Africa?
Land was not stolen. I am saying, if land was stolen, please go to the nearest police station.
Land was violently stolen. It was violently taken from the landowners of the time in a colonial and imperialist system. That's why black people are landless today. It's a historic fact.
You see, you are also committing a crime by sitting with information of a crime was committed, but you are not going to lay charges against those thieves, because this is now a very serious crime, that these people have stolen Dennis Bloem's land. Why are you not going to the police station? And I will go with you if you are saying that Mr. Geldenhuys stole this property.
Okay, how did the 85,000 white families in this country possess that land?
No.
How do they possess it? How did they find it?
Yes.
You know, the land didn't come here on a ship.
Yes.
The land was not osmotical. They didn't wake up from a dream and possess the hectares and the hectares of land that they have in South Africa. It was possessed. A dispossession happened.
Yes.
And who was the dispossessor?
Are you saying...
Who was the dispossessor?
No.
Who took the land?
No, are you saying...
I'm saying who took that land?
No, I am saying, I'm asking you, are you saying that those people stole the land? I don't know who is those people that you are referring to. But I am saying, I'm asking, why is it that those 85%, why are we not going to a police station? It's a very simple thing.
Very simple. My question lies, Mr. Bloem, in saying, how did those 85,000 white families possess this land?
Yes.
How did it come to them? If you're saying there was no land theft.
Yes.
How does a party and individuals that once stood for black people in this country say land theft did not happen?
Fiso, I am answering you again. If there was land theft in this country, let me go with you now to a police station. The courts of this country will solve that problem.
How do you respond to individuals that say Dennis Bloem and Musiwa Lekota are captured by white people? We've seen individuals of Steve Hofmeyer and Tera Lekota in very cordial relations, him addressing, white people and white farmers. How do you respond to the question that Tera Lekota and Dennis Bloem are captured by white people?
It's an insult. All my life, I'm talking about me now as Dennis, I went through torture of the apartheid government, up until today, that's why I'm sitting with you today, I am fighting for the rights of everybody in this country.
I've read your profile, but I'm saying, how do you respond to individuals that say you're captured by white people?
It's an insult. You know what? Many of so-called black, I'm saying so-called black, were working with the apartheid government. You know the homeland leaders.
Yes.
They were working with when we were fighting, we were locked up because we were fighting against Mangope. We were fighting against Sebe. We were fighting
King Mangope, Sebe, Prince Buthelezi. You're saying they were working with the imperialist colonial security branch.
They were working with the apartheid government. Everybody knows that they accepted the homeland system.
Mr. Bloem, you are on television accusing Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi of working with the apartheid regime against black people.
They were in the hands of the apartheid government. There is no other. They were Prince Buthelezi. KwaZulu-Natal was not a homeland. I am talking about homelands. Homelands, you know what I'm talking about. In Kwakwa, Putatswana. Buthelezi was not a homeland leader. I am talking about homeland leaders who accepted to say that no, we are going to camp. This PW Botha or Verwoerd gave this piece of land and say you are going to control these people and let them die of poverty. I'm talking about that. I am saying we fought all these years. That's why I'm saying it's an insult.
Mosiwa Lekota stands up in Parliament and accuses President Cyril Ramaphosa of writing to the security branch and saying it was the communists, it was the ANC leadership that had introduced him to communist ideas, selling him out, basically suggesting that President Ramaphosa was in bed with the security branch.
Well, I have answered that question so many times. Terra Lekota and Cyril Ramaphosa was arrested. They were alone there. We were not there. It's Terra Lekota who must answer that question. It's not for the Congress of the People. COPE was not even formed. We never dreamt of COPE at that time, 1974. Never dreamt of the Congress of the People. That's why I'm saying, I repeat, I have answered that question so many times. It is for Terra Lekota and Cyril Ramaphosa to answer.
In your personal view, could Terra Lekota be correct? Could he be telling the truth?
No.
I mean, do you believe that your president could lie about something like this? I mean, could he allege that the president of the republic was in bed with the security branch? That's a high-level allegation.
Let us not put words in the mouth of Terra Lekota.
I'm asking you, do you believe what Terra Lekota said?
Terra Lekota have never said that Cyril Ramaphosa is a sellout.
No. Mr. Lekota stood up in Parliament and said to the president, you wrote to the security branch to say it is us, meaning the ANC leadership of the time, who are filling you up with communist ideas.
That's right.
You had a relationship. That was the expression. By extension, involving Ramaphosa's father, who was a Soweto-based policeman at the time.
Yes, but Lekota have never said, and the media ran with this thing, to say Lekota have said, Cyril Ramaphosa is a sellout. He said what you have said now. He had a relationship. He was telling the security police that he don't want to...
A young leader in a revolutionary movement is having writing communique with the security branch. That's a relationship.
No. What Lekota have said is that this person was was writing and saying to the security police that those people are printing communist ideas in my head.
I'm saying to you, if a young leader in a movement
Yes.
is imprisoned
Yeah.
for acts against apartheid,
Yes.
and that leader has got communique with the security branch,
Yeah.
that was considered
You see,
selling out.
You see, no, let me tell you, as Fiso, many people under interrogation broke down. Many people, they were tortured very brutally. Winnie Mandela have said so herself, that some of the people that she have worked with, and I can tell you the same with me, many of the people broke down, and then they will say, because they could not stand the brutal torture of, and personally, I don't blame those people, because it was very, very, very tough. It was inhumane what, and you are talking to a person that comes from such torture. I know what the apartheid government, the security police, were doing against to people. It was not easy. So that's why I am saying I will not point a finger at Cyril Ramaphosa and say if he have said so, and if he have said so, I will not blame him, because you don't know it was in
what context and in what environment and in what setting?
Yeah,
you still haven't answered my question to say, do you believe in the allegations of your leader, Mosiwa Lekota?
You see, I can't tell you that no, Lekota was right or
No.
Lekota.
I'm asking you a personal question,
Yeah.
Mr. Bloem. Do you believe what Lekota said?
No, I am saying to you, I will not answer that one, because Lekota and Ramaphosa was alone there, and the two of them will answer that question. I can't say Lekota is lying or Ramaphosa is lying. It will be very disrespectful to both of them.
All right. I thought in leadership you believe in your political principles. You believe in what they say. You're a spokesperson of the party. I expected that you would say, I believe in my leader.
No.
Let's talk this.
I am saying to you, I will not put words or question what Lekota have said or what Ramaphosa have said. Both of them, I respect them.
Let's talk the Zuma letters. You've read President Cyril Ramaphosa's letter to the ANC, and of course, CCing the whole nation. The ANC is accused number one. And of course, former President Jacob Zuma has responded to him to say, you better come clean on whether or not your family has done business with the state, on whether you yourself have done business with the state. How do you call the ANC accused number one? Zuma citing that he sits there in the dock, referring to the arms deal case at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. And he's never called the ANC accused number one. He's taken that all on his own. Who's in the wrong here?
You see, I have said in our statement that this is exactly how the recall of President Thabo Mbeki happened. It is exactly the same steps and plans are playing it out now. I can tell you now that President Cyril Ramaphosa's future is in very serious danger.
His future is in jeopardy. You're saying he will be recalled soon? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That is what we are saying. We can see what is happening, the build-up to this whole thing. I'm a politician.
Yeah.
I am watching.
How long would you give him?
Sorry?
How long would you give him? The length of time?
No. You see, that question was also asked with Thabo Mbeki, and it took some time. And after that, it happened. This thing will take time, but it will happen.
Okay, so you're saying President Ramaphosa is almost, out of the door, or the machinations against him, there's a build-up for his removal. But the question is, Mr. Bloem, does he have a case to answer for? The fact that someone might want to remove him, that's politics. But does he have a case?
You see, when President Cyril Ramaphosa is writing that letter to say that the ANC is accused number one, he have not recused himself. He have included him, accused number one, the ANC as a party. So, with other words, he and Zuma and everybody who is there in the ANC must answer these questions. They accuse number one, the ANC. He have not mentioned names of people. He have said, accuse number one, President Cyril Ramaphosa is the president of the ANC. Ace Magashule is the general secretary of the ANC. The Secretary General
yes.
of the ANC.
The Secretary General can be referred to as the National Secretary.
Yes. So all of them, President Cyril Ramaphosa is saying, all of them are accused number one. So it is not Tony Ngeni or Masina, Mzandile Masina's name and what, all of them.
My question actually, Mr. Bloem, was, do you think he's got a case to answer for? He will be held, of course, in the week to come before the Integrity Commission. We are aware that there's been widespread concerns, and particularly in the NEC, about the CR17 campaign, that documents to his presidential campaign are sealed in the Pretoria High Court. If he's got nothing to hide, then why are his documents sealed?
I am saying...
Does he have a case to answer for?
I am saying the entire ANC...
500,000 Bosasa.
The entire ANC has a case to answer. There is the Zondo Commission. The Zondo Commission, it's not about any other party but the ANC. Not a single other party, the DA, EFF or what. You will always see that ANC deployees are there. I am saying to you, that letter of President Cyril Ramaphosa, he is saying that the ANC is accused number one. That's the Zondo Commission. The ANC is there in the Zondo Commission. To answer your question, all the leaders and members of the ANC, President Cyril Ramaphosa, have included everybody there.
So you're saying the entire ANC must fall?
The entire ANC must take the responsibility. We have said it many a times as the Congress of the People, that the entire ANC must take full responsibility of what is happening in this country. Wow. You can't point a finger at... I have said a month ago, Zuma was not alone in this whole thing. The entire... I've said it publicly, that Ramaphosa, Gwede Mantashe, defended Zuma with their lives. I have said it publicly, and I repeat it now again, that you cannot point a finger at one person alone. The entire ANC must take responsibility of what is happening in this country. We have warned them in Polokwane 2007 that here comes trouble. The party is taking a wrong direction. Look what is happening now. We are vindicated. Here is this thing happening. Nobody can say that it is this one and this one and this one. The entire movement must take, including the alliance, must take.
Including the SACP and COSATU, MKMVA, the Veterans League, the Youth League, or rather the National Youth League task team. Everybody must fall.
They must take responsibility because they have supported President Zuma there in Polokwane. When we said that the party is taking a wrong direction.
Okay. Let's come back after the break. I want you to drink some water, and we're about to get heated up. We're going to talk about the future of COPE. Do you think you can survive?
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, it's a two-man show right there.
No problem.
Right now, let's talk COPE. COPE. After the break, I'm back with Mr. Dennis Bloem, national spokesperson of the Congress of the People, a former high-ranking official in the ANC. They say it's cold outside the ANC. He says no, it's very warm where he is. We talk COPE after the break.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. The Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
Welcome back. This is Polotiki and I'm your host, Sifiso Mahlangu. A young man, light-skinned, all the way from the dusty streets of Emalahleni in Mpumalanga. I'm seated with Dennis Bloem, national spokesperson of the Congress of the People. We have moved this conversation to the Zuma letters. He's saying the entire ANC must go. I'm going to argue how a party of two people in parliament calls for the reduction or the removal of a party with 270 people thereabout in the National Assembly. This conversation continues. I see all your comments. Highlight me, hashtag me, comment. I'll take your questions and add them to Mr. Bloem right now. I'm told we're 43 countries. We've added the DRC. 43 countries are watching us right now. All around the continent, this is Polotiki. Welcome back, Mr. Bloem.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, vigorous conversation. We're having vibrant, radical,
yes.
You know, like RET.
I'm used to it.
Radical economic transformation. Pockets of our society are saying, these ones, they are serving their white masters. You commented before the break to say it's an insult. I want to take this conversation forward and say, why has COPE regressed? Why did you vent your dirty linen in the press? A party of about 9 years old, at the time 6 years old, was struggling for leadership, presidential ambition. What happened?
You know, let me take you back on serving our white masters. It's a very wrong perception. You know, when the Freedom Charter, there in Cape Town, 1955, 26 of June, was written, white people were there. When, during our struggle, Dr. Peers not here, an Afrikaner, was pushed aside by his own people. You know, he was banned from the NG Kerk. Many of our comrades, white comrades, were in prison, were helping us. I know that I was sleeping in hiding at white people's houses there in Kronstadt. So we can never say that now we are serving our white puppets, or we are puppets of the
South Africa is the most unequal society in the world.
Yes.
Are you saying whoever says that the land was stolen must go and report it at the police station?
Yes.
Popular rhetoric.
Yes.
But people are still homeless. people are hungry, we're the most unequal
Why
society.
are people still homeless? Who is the government?
The JSE has only 2% black companies registered with it, 26 years
But
into
who
government.
is the government?
A government that you were once a part of.
That's why we broke away from them, because there's no political will. I am asking, who are we blaming now after 26 years? We can't all the time and forever blame the apartheid government.
But should we focus on a party that is disintegrating? Should we focus on a party that has, in its first years of inception,
Yes.
the first years of its creation,
Yeah.
has struggled for party leadership, vented it in court? Now Musiwa Lekota is the president.
Yes.
And perhaps his time has come to step aside and let a younger leader with more ambitions, more policy proposals to take this party forward. Is it not time, Mr. Bloem, that you and Mr. Lekota say, we've served our country, let us sit down and raise our grandchildren? Has the time not come?
No,
for that?
we have said many a times that the interest of the country comes first. We will do whatever. And for your information, we are grooming younger people to come and take over into COPE. We are busy with grooming, but we are doing that in a very responsible way. We can never give the country into the hands. You see what is happening now. We must be very careful. When we give leadership over, we must know and we must be sure that no, Sfiso is thoroughly grilled. Fiso will not let the people down of South Africa because we are sure that Fiso is right. That process is in place as we speak now. We are busy with grooming new leadership, younger leadership, not you, younger leadership to take over the Congress.
From what COPE was, in a few lines, how did you become what you are now? From, you say, the third biggest party in the country, and you had such a great voice in opposition politics. You were to take the ruling party on and make sure that they deliver, hold them to account. You've become an empty voice.
Fiso, let me
what
tell
happened?
You. No, let me tell you what happened. You see, COPE was the biggest threat to the ANC 2007. The biggest, 2009 when we went to the elections, the biggest threat. I was still in the ANC. I know what I'm talking about. We were deployed, the entire parliament, MPs of parliament, was deployed into the Eastern Cape for 2 weeks, full. The other province was in the northwest. Others were deployed in the Free State. I know. Now I'm giving you background. It was the biggest threat to the ANC. What the ANC have done through their machinery is to infiltrate the party.
Mr. Bloem. You're saying it is the ANC that has destroyed COPE.
No.
You said there was a contest of leadership.
You have asked
it is a contest of leadership.
You have asked me a question.
And the contest of leadership divided your party. Can you say it is the ANC that has brought COPE to its knees?
You have asked me a question. Let me, what I know. You will tell me what you know. I am saying the party was infiltrated by ANC agents to come and destroy.
Who were those agents?
No, you never know an agent. I mean, I'm having a background of that world, but I'm not going into that. You will never know, but you can see.
So the ANC infiltrated COPE.
Yes. The ANC infiltrated COPE to come and create havoc, and to a certain extent they succeeded in that thing. Yeah. It wasn't
the ANC that took Mbazi Mashulowa to court.
Sorry?
It was not the ANC that took Mbazima
No,
Shilowa
it was not.
to court.
It was
Musiwa Lekota.
It was not Musiwa Lekota. It was Cope. It was not Musiwa Lekota. It was Cope. I repeat, what happened? These things went in underground and created. Shilowa could have been just the face of that strategy, but we know now. Julius Malema, I've said it many a times there in Parliament, all over. He was part and parcel of that unit, of that secret unit that was planted
deployed
to destroy the COPE. He have said it. He's there. You can invite him to the studio so that he must repeat what I am saying. He was part because he was the youth leader at that time. So it is not a thing that we are just
making up. Or
it was there.
Is there a future for COPE? Do you see that there can be a future for the Congress of the People?
For as long as there is instability in this country, there will always be a place for the Congress of the People. For as long as there is this instability, if there's no instability in this country, then COPE can vanish. I'm sitting here talking to you about things that is happening in our country. That makes us very painful because we struggled for this country and the future of this country. But people are messing it up. Everybody can see there's no peace in the ANC, a party that we have loved so much and gave our lives for. Many people died in the camps, in the streets of Kroonstad, in Maukei. Many people, our youth were shot by the security police because out of the love of freedom. Look what is happening now. People are looking at money and they have nothing to do with the future of my children, of your children. They just think of, no, let us gather a lot of money for ourselves and our family. It's very painful to think about these things. People, up until today, some of the families don't know where's the bones of the remains of their loved ones. And when they look at television, they read newspapers. It is all about self-enrichment. People are not there to worry about, I mean, look at in Limpopo. People are drinking water with cows. People are stealing money like nobody's business. They don't care. It's very
self-enrichment.
painful. It's self-enrichment.
Greed, malice.
You know, I was the chairperson of the portfolio committee. And what I have seen with Busasa, it's very scary. These things that I was there at the,
at the
inquiry. I have said what I know of what has happened there. Many people. You see, the late commissioner, Vinnie Peterson, died because of this corruption. Because of this corruption. He died. It's very painful. I am saying for as long as there is no stability in this country, COPE will still exist.
Okay. COPE will still exist. I want to introduce you to the world of television. You've spoken so articulately this afternoon. I want you to give me a link. A link is when you cross over to the advertisement, okay? Then I'll come back and close the show. So I want you to link and tell your audience we're crossing over to the commercials. There's your camera.
So what must I do?
You speak to the camera and you link it to the commercial break. We say, this is Dennis Bloem. Join us after the break.
Yeah, this is Dennis Bloem. You can join us after the break. Welcome to this marvelous discussion with Fiso Mahlangu.
Hey, tada.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents, and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support, and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. The Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
The day will come when these measures are no longer needed. Until then, however, we must ensure that all our people receive adequate support. We look ahead to a better future. I have faith in the strength and the resilience of ordinary South Africans who have proven time and time again throughout our history that they can rise to any challenge that is presented to our country. We shall recover. We shall overcome.
Welcome back to Polotiki with me, Sifiso Mahlangu. It's almost 4 p.m. Central African time. I'm told 43 countries are watching me right now. If you're watching me from the palm of your hand on your cell phone, charge the device. I'm in conversation with the national spokesperson of the Congress of the People, Mr. Dennis Bloem. It's been an interesting conversation, Mr. I even introduced you to doing television links. You might have a job at anchoring politics shows after this.
I'm a pensioner. I will accept it with open eyes.
Should pensioners still be running politics, though? Should pensioners still be active? Or
the experience is very important for each and every
We've got a parliament that's a majority of pensionerhood, Mr. Bloem. Surely, there are young, gifted, educated South Africans.
But you can see
who can take this country forward.
You can see what is parliament today. It's not the parliament that Nelson Mandela introduced and look over. Freni Jinwala, Governor Mbeki. Governor Mbeki was the deputy chairperson of the NCOP, the Senate. I was there with him. It is not the same. You can see everything is down to the ground, because you must never experience. You cannot buy experience. You must always listen to people with experience.
But there must be a leadership structure that affords young people the right and the empowerment process to lead this country.
I agree with you.
We should not have a parliament that has a majority of pensioners.
You must have a balance. You must groom.
Right now there is no balance.
Yes, you must groom people. You see, let's take the EFF. You see, the EFF is a vibrant organization, but without any leadership, proper, matured leadership. Julius and Floyd are almost the same age. No one will listen to the other one. I am saying, if a matured person can come in and assist, that will be the best remedy for them. But now, we know, man, we were also young. Nobody can tell nobody a thing. You see, this vibrant young lady here in Gauteng, Mandisa Mashego, you see, she have left because of the very same thing. If she wants to at least give advice, No, it's not right. I am saying what is happening in Parliament today, it's a lack of maturity there. Experience is very important to take that Parliament forward. But if things are going on, I mean, people are swearing it at each other. You know, the language that I was in Parliament for 20 years. I know the dignity, the decorum of Parliament. When the
sleeping and the snoring,
it was not there.
The tiresome.
It was not there. It was not there because it was vibrant, not rude as it is now. It was vibrant. I can tell you, we were. The National Party, I'm talking about the National Party. The National Party was there. The Democratic Party, not the DA, Democratic Party, and all these other people were there. But we were fighting. We were fighting, but we were fighting with dignity.
You're fighting with dignity. Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Bloem. It's been interesting talking to you.
Baie dankie my broer.
Ja, jy moet weer kom keer, hoor.
Ek sal enige tyd, jy moet my net uitnooi my broer. Ek sal
That's not corona, you can relax, bro. That was Dennis Bloem, national spokesperson for the Congress of the People. Initially said to my producers he's afraid to come and talk to me. One, I'm a ruthless host, and two, because there's coronavirus in the world. But he's been safe. Interesting conversation. I see all your comments. I'll continue to comment. I'll try and bring him back here again to take this conversation forward. We're well on our way to 2021. The local government elections are upon us. And of course, that's going to be interesting. Thank you, Africa and the world, for watching. Thank you for participating in these discussions. I'm Sifiso Mahlangu. I'm glad to have been your pastor in this Sunday session of Polotiki. From me, pray for South Africa, pray for the world. Don't abuse the children. Don't beat the women. One Africa for all. From me in Johannesburg and Midrand, it's a good afternoon.